Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Backstage Bimbo TV. My name is Allison Rouse, your most notorious groupie, growing more notorious by the day. And I'm author of We've Got Tonight, The Life and Times of Notorious Groupie, me, Allison Rouse. Welcome back, everybody, and hello to all the new people subscribing. It's so great to meet you guys and to get to know people and other women like me from my era. This has been such an awesome experience for meeting people. And speaking of meeting people, today on Cocktails and Rocktails, we're going to talk about another meeting with Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols. That's right. There's a lot of these, so I kind of pick and choose, and today we're talking about when Steve and I made the sex tape. That's right. We made a sex tape in today's cocktail, folks. How appropriate. It's called the cum shot. So everybody, manage your shots. Kick up your feet. And let's have a little cocktails and rocktails, shall we? Cheers, big ears. I love this. Rum chata and cinnamon schnapps. So easy. So, and speaking of easy, Steve Jones, of course. Now, like I said, I've known Steve Jones for a lot of years. We met in 1996. It was around 4.5, 5 years that he and I saw each other, which is absolutely amazing in Steve Jones years because, like I always say, he doesn't like a woman to stick around 5 minutes after he comes, let alone 5 years. So this is after Seattle, years after Seattle, actually. This is, God, was it right before John passed away, I believe? So this was around 99-ish, 2000. December of 2000, I believe. I was living in Las Vegas, doing my thing, going to college. You know, still seeing Steve. If I wasn't with Steve, I was with Vinnie Paul. If I wasn't with either of them, then I was off doing my own photo shoots, college, being with my family, on vacation, whatever. So my best friend and I had decided we were going to get places in Los Angeles, which we did I had mine for like a year over in Santa Monica. So her boyfriend, cousin Amy, her boyfriend lived down in Redondo. So we were staying at his place, and I called Steve before I went, and I said, hey, I'm going to be in LA. He's like, cool, babe. He's like, call me when you get here. So I called him the night I got here. I was out to dinner with friends, and he was going to hang out with some of his friends. So we didn't hook up. So he's like, well, why don't you come to my house the next day? Okay. So called him, said, hey, I'm ready. What time do you want me to come over? He's like, how about 2 o'clock? Okay, 2 o'clock. I love me some good sex in the middle of the day. So, like I said, we go to his house, or well, actually, cousin Amy, because I didn't have my car down there with me, and they had plenty of cars, but her boyfriend wasn't letting me drive the Viper that day for some reason. He was kind of a drunk. But, so, cousin Amy takes me over to Rodeo, to that church where the AA meetings are and stuff, and I meet Steve there, and at the time, he just had this old blue Ford truck. So I was like, okay, cool, and I'm not someone who gives a shit about what kind of car you drive or the house you live in or how much money's in your bank account. What matters to me was what's inside of you. And I always liked Steve because he was a no bullshit kind of guy. He didn't lie, didn't lead anybody on. He was just himself. And that was one of the most beautiful things about him because he was just cool. He was just kicked back himself, didn't put on any airs. He kind of puts on more airs now that he's Jonesy's jukebox. Like, everybody calls him Jonesy, and that to me is his on-stage persona. So I've never called him Jonesy, and I don't really listen to Jonesy's jukebox. So, anyway, this is all before that time. So we meet up, jump in his truck. He's like, just go back to my place. I'm like, okay. Like I said, no bullshit, no beating around the bush. We're going to get laid. Yay! Because you know how much, 5 years into it, you know if I'm staying 5 years into it. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I don't know if downstairs below me someone's getting some stuff done, renovating. So, yay! Love condo life. So anyway, we go to his house and we start talking, and I'm just dressed normal, like jeans and a t-shirt and some little boots, that was trendy at the time, and didn't think about dressing up for him. Well, I did. I brought some of my stripper shoes, these silver stilettos that I used to have, the platform ones. So I brought those with me because I know Steve. Sorry, I had to pause again because, like I said, there's some stuff going on downstairs. But anyway, so I didn't think about it. I just brought my silver shoes because I know he's a leave your shoes on kind of guy. There was the whole song. Because, he wrote that song on his solo album, Leave Your Shoes On, which I love dancing to because that's a really awesome groove. So anyway, I pull out my shoes. He's like, what size are you? What do you mean, what size? So I tell him my size, 8.5, and he has this. You walk into Steve's from the garage area. There's the front door where he does a lot of his filming of the TikToks. But if you walk in from the garage, you go in his back door, and right as you walk in, here was his kitchen. Here was the little dining booth thingy. The front door is over there. His bedroom and a little bathroom were over there. The living room, then the TV room, and then the bathroom where he does his filming is over this way, and that's where one of the Union Jack flags that he does in the house. So it's not a huge place. It was a beautiful home that he has. It's just a 1-bedroom little place that's really, really beautiful. Very well done. Loved his home. He's got great taste. I've always loved Steve's taste, but we're both Virgos. So makes a lot of sense, right? So when he asked me size, I told him 8.5. So he goes to this little cabinet that, like, here's the kitchen counter, here's the living room, and in the corner, right before you go into the TV room, was this little corner cabinet. And he opens it up, and he drags out a pair of 8.5 red heels and a little schoolgirl mini skirt. He's like, here, why don't you put these on? I hope to fucking God you washed these, was the first thing I said. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I spray like bowling shoes. I'm like, no, the skirt. He's like, oh, yeah, it's clean. Because it's Steve. I am not the only woman to be wearing this stuff. But I'm the only woman he didn't pay because we actually liked each other a lot by this point. So I go in and I put the little thingy on, have my little bra, whatever, t-shirt tied up because I was just wearing a t-shirt. So I just tied it up to look all sexy with the white kind of wife beater and the mini skirt and the red heels. So I come out of his little bathroom by his bedroom. And he's like, oh, yeah, that looks good, babe. That looks good, babe. And then he's like, guess what? I got a new toy. Yeah, I know what this new toy is, and it's not new. He's like, I got a new video camera. You want to break it in? Yeah, go right ahead, dude. And, I know it wasn't exactly a new toy. The motherfucker already had it hooked up to his TV, which at the time, it wasn't a flat screen because those weren't made yet, but it was one of those big, huge screens, like in the big cabinets and stuff, the monsters and I mean, this thing was 4 feet wide easily. So he's already got this little camera hooked up, as Steve does. It cracks me up because he tries to be so subtle. He tries to be so, nonchalant about it. And it's like, just say, hey, baby, you want to make a video? Okay. So we did. So we're in the living room, and he just starts filming me. I'm dancing around. He starts going under the skirt. We're doing the normal. Excuse me. Okay, sorry, the drilling again. But we're about to get to some more drilling. Some more fun drilling. So he, is filming up my skirt and stuff, and we're going at it, and I take the camera, and I'm like going down his body. I'm like, turn around, let's film that sexy mercy tattoo. So I'm filming the mercy tattoo and stuff, and we're just getting at it. And then he sets the video camera up so that we can, be on the couch and get a little good angle and stuff, and he's watching, and we're doing all this, and we're going at it, and it's so fun. And somehow we're all over this living room. First I'm on top of him on his couch. At the time he had brown leather, and the Sex Pistols, our models could beat up your models ad campaign poster above his couch and stuff. And they had this chair, so we end up falling off the couch, bent over the chair, rolling around up against the window, down on the floor, to which when we are down on the floor, Steve decides he's going to take the camera and zoom in on the vajayjay. And you don't think anything of it until you look over at the TV screen and your vajayjay's 4 feet wide. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Zoom out, Steve. Zoom out. That's all I could say, because that thing looked like the clam that was about to eat the world. And it's pretty, but not at 4 feet wide and 2 feet tall. Oh my God. It's fuck. His dick looked great that size because, but wow. I was just like, zoom out, motherfucker. So he zooms out and we start going at it some more. And we're filming and I've got his face. And yep. Next thing you know, we're in the big bathroom where he films, where he's sitting in his tub and shower. That big, huge, monstrous, like 10 people could fit in this tub area. But we just fit in different positions in the tub area. So yeah, that was Steve and I. We spent the next like 3 hours making one sex tape, which he then years later transferred onto DVD. So he tells me. Guy probably has downloaded it into a file on his computer by now. At least I hope he did, because I've never seen this video except for the day we made it. We kind of watched it a little bit afterwards, which was fun. But like I said, the second he started in the JJ again, no, don't zoom in on those guys, because wow, cheese and rice. Nobody needs to see their JJ that size. So, yep, made a nice little sex tape. Then he ordered us some lunch, and we just sat and talked and had lunch. Then we went at it again, minus the video camera. A little bit in his bedroom, because, I can't imagine Steve has a lot of actual sex in his bed. Maybe now that his back is not as good as it used to be because he had surgery years ago, But, yeah, I can't imagine the bedroom saw a lot of sex. I'm guessing that couch and the floor did, just like it's seen my back and knees. Yeah, my knees. Ugh. But it was okay. Like, people are like, oh, you did a sex tape? But it wasn't like I was Kim Kardashian and just screwed my boss's brother and let him film me. I had known Steve for 4.5, 5 years at this point. Yeah, I trusted him. Because he still hasn't released that sex tape. And I still don't have a copy, because when he took me back down to Redondo later that day after we had dinner and stuff, and we did some more goofing around and whatever, I told him, I said, I want a copy of that, because we were both so fucking hot at the time. If you ask me, I got Steve in his best, hottest physical years. Inside, he is still a great guy. I think he's probably one of the most genuine human beings I've ever met. And I have total love and respect for that. But, like I said, I trusted him. But, at the time, oh, God, he was so hot. He didn't have all the tattoos that he has now. My favorite tattoo of his is always going to be Mercy. Mama loves that tattoo. If only I could bend him over and we could... Steve, if you're watching, can we? Want to do another? Okay, so that's it. There is my only sex tape that I've ever... One of the only sex tapes I've ever made. I forget about that other one. Oh, Cousin Amy and I. Well, no, she and I weren't together. Long story, but we'll get into that another time. We're talking about Steve and I's sex tape now. But it was really cool because, I know he has a lot of girls over to his house and stuff, but, like, he kept me there even after, because usually when the girl's done coming, he's like, bye, where can I drop you, or get in your car? So, no, we sat, we had lunch, we hung out, we did some more dirties, and then grabbed his mail for him, tossed it to, because when we were pulling out, he's like, hey, grab my mail. So I reached out of his truck, and he took me home, and we hung out a couple more times. And I felt really cool that he was like, oh, come to my house. But then you realize he probably brings a lot of girls home to that house. Not anymore. I think he's mellowed out. But so, hope you guys like my little story about Steve Jones and I's sex tape. Like I said, I've known him for 5 years. Totally trust him. Still trust him. It may not even exist anymore. Who knows? But if it doesn't, I can, like I said, maybe we can do nutters. No, I'm too old for him now. He doesn't sleep with anybody over 29. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed my little cocktail and rocktail for the week. Another Steve Jones. Like I said, this was 5 years into our relationship, or whatever it was. It was about as close to a relationship that either of us were going to get at the time. So, don't, ladies, gentlemen, if you are going to do a sex tape, don't zoom in on the vajayjay. Or getting that under scrotum area. No. Chocolate starfishes are best zoomed out. All right, guys. Thanks again for all your love and support, for having my back, for really just making this a very awesome experience meeting all of you guys. I truly appreciate it. And don't forget, you guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit my bells so we can get more and more, because after 1,000, I'm going to start doing a lot of cool giveaways. All right? A lot of autographed merchandise, books, all kinds of stuff. Because I know the book isn't necessarily available to everybody who wants to buy it. So I am trying to figure out different sites. I know there's like Abe Books and stuff that is part of Amazon that they do sell on. But I also know that the shipping can be quite expensive. So I am trying to do everything I can to hopefully get that all taken care of for you guys. All right? All right. Thanks again, you guys. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit my bells. And we'll see you next week for a little more Cocktails and Rocktails. Cheers, big ears.